Good morning, card community. It is RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. From 1992, Topps. These were inserted randomly into packs. It is a match the stats scratch off game. There are actually 52 variations. Now, what do I mean by variations? Every one looked like this, except up here, the question or the information was a little different in all instances. Winning stat, 8-time National League home run champ Mike Schmidt hit his career high in 1980 with 48 home runs. All right. And there are 42 various winner stat listings there from various Hall of Fame or great players of the game. And this little scratch-off card, because there are 52 variations, is actually like a mini insert set. It's not an insert set that I have attempted to get. I mean, it doesn't show anything really other than these scratch-off things, so it's hard to be considered a really cool collectible because it's got no player face on it, but because it is a Mike Schmidt item, I have it in my Mike Schmidt binder, and it is my random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Today's random baseball item of the day. I had an occasion Sunday on the trivia question to go through my 2002 Topps complete set box looking for cards of the Giambi brothers. And opening it, I found these 5 cards at the top. These 5 cards were just laying on top of the cards. It is 5 cards from a 10-card insert that Topps produced of various draft picks. I have cards 1 through 5 of 10. I'm sure I could get cards 6 through 10, but Topps began doing these random inserts. I guess I'm not sure what the first year was, and they're complete sets. These days, it's usually a rookie variation, or sometimes it has been a colored parallel, diamond speckled parallel or what. But these were draft picks, and what occurred to me as I was looking at them, I've got no clue who any of these people are. These were high-end draft picks, I'm assuming, but Detroit Tigers, Scott Moore. I have no idea if Scott Moore actually made it to the Tigers. Orioles, Val Majewski. Who? Indians, Brian Slocum. For the Reds, Chris Grueller. And also for the Reds, Mark Schramek. Usually you'll see some players that, these guys would be marginal players that you've heard of at least, but here's 5 cards of baseball players who are draft picks. I have no clue who he is. So this guy here, Chris Grueller, drafted Reds number 1. Mr. Schramek, Reds number 2. Brian Slocum, Indians number 2. Val Majewski, Orioles number 3. And Scott Moore, first pick of the Tigers. So these were all draft picks from that year, from 2002. And it doesn't sound like any of them hit. So better luck to those teams on their player development scouting systems from back then. So, whew. All right. Today's trivia question. Cool prize for you today. Mike Schmidt, Donruss Greats of the Game. This one, I believe, is from 2000. Oh, I can barely read. Maybe you guys can read better than me. I'm not even going to hazard a guess. 2008, 2003, who knows? Anyway, Donruss Greats of the Game. Mike Schmidt, that is your prize. If you can answer this question, it's World Series time. Sadly, the Phillies did not make it. But World Series time, and the 3 questions this week are going to be World Series related. World Series MVP, Mike Schmidt was the World Series MVP in 1980. In what year was the very first World Series MVP awarded? And who got the award? That's your question. email me the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of the question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We'll pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. Today, I want to show off a small little set. Got here. I'm trying to find the date on it real quick. I didn't look it up. I'll put it in the description below. Maybe I'll come back, splice in the year. But it's certainly from the 90s. The Philadelphia Athletics Historical Society set of 40 cards highlighting players of the Philadelphia Athletics. Now, the Philadelphia Athletics Historical Society, I do not believe it's still in operation. It was around from the late 80s to the early 2000s, and obviously highlighting the forgotten Philadelphia Athletics. Therefore, it was a bunch of guys in suburban Philadelphia who started basically a fan club, and then started gathering memorabilia and having a society, quote unquote. They actually opened a shop down in Hatboro, Pennsylvania, that was operational for quite a while. They had like a museum, small little storefront museum on Main Street down in Hatboro. A lot of fun things they did for quite a while, but over the years, I guess the interest in the club dwindled, and I don't think it's even in operation anymore, but it was a great thing. I used to love going to it. And they put out a couple cool sets such as this. So all of these people, Connie Mack, everybody knows, but most of the cards are from people who played for the A's during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, who are really just forgotten people. And I think that's one of the reasons they took the time to do it, because players who played from the 30s, 40s, and 50s were still around as, elderly gentlemen during the time that the Philadelphia Athletics Society was operational, so they could bring these guys back and remember them, honor them, and, it was a great thing. So who is in this set? So Connie Mack is card number 1. Here we go. Then they get into these names you barely remember. Sam Chapman, I do recall Sam Chapman. It gives just his total games with the Athletics, and then his total games overall in other places, and the stats, but it doesn't give you information about when necessarily he joined, or what his career spanned at all. So Bobby Shantz, well-known member of the Philadelphia Athletics. If you listen to Ray from Philly, he's always talking about his Bobby Shantz autograph run he's putting together. Mr. Shantz is still alive in his mid to late 90s, still active in card shows too. Al Brancato. This is where you get into people you don't even know. Bob Dillinger. Irv Hall. Does Irv Hall play for the Phillies? Joined the club in 43. So again, a lot of these no-name players. Joe Hauser, I remember Joe Hauser's name. Taffy Wright. Yep, Taft, look at that name. Taft Shedron Wright. That is a fantastic name. Taffy. Gus Zernial, I've heard of. Ray Murray. Skeeter Kell. That's an interesting name. Everett Lee Kell. Skeeter Kell. Oh, he was the younger brother of Hall of Famer George Kell. There you go. That's an interesting fact. Skeeter Kell. George Kell's younger brother. Maury Martin. Pete Suter, Pinky Higgins, Allie Clark, Hank Wise, with a Y. Hank Wise. There's George Kell. Like I said, we just talked about Skeeter Kell. Here is George Kell, who played with the Athletics for 313 games. Hank Majeski, Jimmy Fox. Everybody knows Jimmy Fox, Hall of Famer. Crash Davis. Okay, here you go. If you know your baseball movies, Bull Durham featured a young Kevin Costner whose name was Crash Davis. Now, I don't know if Crash Davis's name in the movie was actually Lawrence Columbus Davis. You can see right here. Crash's name and persona were the inspiration for the motion picture Bull Durham. So, You know, here he is, Crash Davis. I have no idea how many cards Crash Davis had in reality other than this one. Interesting little thing, though. Elmer Vallow, I know him as a Major League player. Ray Coleman, Carl Scheib, Billy Hitchcock, Earl Brucker Jr. I wonder if Earl Brucker Sr. played. Let's see, up here it is. Earl's father played for the Athletics from 1937 through 1940. And here he is. He got 2 games. His Philadelphia career and his Major League career, 2 games and 6 at-bats. But he played for the Philadelphia Athletics, as did his father. Interesting. Dave Philly, Joe DeMaestri, I know. Eddie Collins Jr. Eddie Collins, Hall of Famer, played for the A's for a long time. Jr. got into 132 career games with the Athletics. Only batted .241, so you'll see that a lot. The apple falls far from the tree when you're talking about baseball and sport talent, unfortunately. Eddie Juiced, Spook Jacobs, Ferris Fane, I remember Ferris Fane, Eddie Robinson, Vic Power, I know Vic Power, Lou Brissy, Bill Renna, Nellie Fox, Hall of Famer. Nellie Fox, Hall of Fame White Sox individual. You forget that he played 98 games for the Athletics. See where it says when did he play for the Athletics. It doesn't say. I'm trying to find out what years. I'd have to look it up. But Nellie Fox played 98 games out of his Hall of Fame career with the Philadelphia Athletics. Interesting thing. Lou Limmer. Here's Eddie Collins Sr. There are a lot of Hall of Famers who played for the Athletics over the years, and it's interesting that most of them didn't make this set. But again, this set was mostly dedicated to those players, Roger Kramer, who have been long forgotten. Joe Astroth. And then this is an interesting one. Joe Jackson, Philadelphia Athletics. This was the promo card. It says of 500. So in other words, they made 500 of these sets, and this would have been hand numbered to let you know which one you got. The one I have did not come numbered. Limited edition of 500, only available through the Philadelphia Athletics Historical Society, which again, I don't recall if it still exists. Anyway, there you go. Just a small little nifty thing in my collection that I have, obviously because I am here in the Philadelphia Athletics territory. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community, all right? Come back again on Wednesday. We'll have another great trivia question and prize, just like we did today. Thanks for watching. Take care.